Welcome to Emizari News. If this is your first time on this channel, just give us like and also comment on your notification button so that whenever our news enter, you go be the first we go receive them. Welcome once again to Emizari News, all of us of freedom all over the world. As it don't happen again, the UN working group has commanded the president of Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or face the consequences and also the dance to the drama. Listen as I bring you the full story. Bruce Fane, the International Council for the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has written to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari asking him to comply with the opinion of the United Nations Human Rights Civil Working Group on arbitrary detention, which recommended immediate and unconditional release of the IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Fane, in his letter dated January, expressed shock that close to 6 months after the UN opinion was offered to the Nigerian government, President Buhari was yet to act on it without recourse to the far-reaching implication of not complying with the opinion. He told Buhari to release Kanu without further delay or brace up for the impending UN sanction as well as God's judgment. Below is a full text of the letter made available to Tassin News. Compliance with decree of the United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on arbitrary detention to release Nnamdi Kanu immediately based on deprivation of liberty in violation of 16 International Human Rights Conventions. The letter said, "Dear President Buhari, if you fear God, you should release Nnamdi Kanu from his protracted illegal detention forthwith. If you do not, you should tremble for your fate by remembering that God is just, and that his justice will not sleep forever." Nearly 6 months ago, on July 20, 2022, the United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on Arbitrary Detention issues opinion on 25/2022. It unanimously concluded that your government is illegally detaining Nnamdi Kanu in violation of 16 just caution international law prescriptions, i.e., they are binding on every nation as universal principle of justice, paragraph 105. The working group added, taking into account the circumstance of the case, the appropriate remedy will be for the government of Nigeria to release Mr. Kanu immediately, and for both Nigeria and Kenya to accord him an enforceable right to compensation and other repatriation in accord with international law. The working group calls upon the government of Nigeria to take urgent action to ensure the immediate unconditional release of Mr. Kanu. The working group requested a timely update of your government compliance with its decree, which has been scorned. Nothing has been done to comply with the working group's urgent call for Mr. Kanu's immediate unconditional release. He remains in solitary confinement in the custody of the DSS. Among other things, Mr. Kanu has been denied necessary medical care for a possible life-threatening ailment. Every day since July 20, 2022 has been a new high-water mark of your government's criminal detention of Mr. Kanu, compounding the crimes involved in his initial kidnapping, torture, and extraordinary rendition from Kenya. If justice rather than tyranny occupied Aso Rock, your government will be accused and Mr. Kanu the prosecutor. In a larger sense, your government ongoing criminal spread far beyond one's individual. Your administration has stooped to genocide and crimes against humanity in destroying, traumatizing, and terrorizing the lives of 70 million Biafran for exercising their unalienable right to seek by non-violent means self-determination. Example, government by the consent of the governed. That cherished right was extinguished by the British more than a century ago. Nigeria has refused to redress Great Britain's racist injustice for more than 60 years since independence. One insincere attempt in 1966 was stillborn and provoked the genocidal Biafra Civil War. Your administration continues to insist by force and violence on boundaries illegally drawn by the white men without consent of the single African. There may be better ways of inviting odium in the eyes of God and natural law, but if there are, they do not readily come to mind. The American Declaration of Independence proclaims universal norms of justice that continue to thunder like a hammer on an anvil throughout the world. Governments are formed to secure life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that when a government becomes destructive of those ends, it is the right and duty of the people to alter or abolish it. By those universal standards, Biafrans have for decades possessed a right to a free, fair, and peaceful independent referendum as was provided South Sudan in 2011 and Eritrea in 1993. It speaks volume that no Fulani has ever been prosecuted for murdering a Biafran in more than 62 years. Pay heed to Amos 5:24 or risk the wrath of God, the ostracism of civilized people, and crippling sanction from the United Nations Security Council. Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. My people, now so we don't see them today for Tassin News. They don't come out. The UN Working Group has come out to warn Mr. Buhari, who since have detained Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS detention. You know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya and brought back to Nigeria to be judged. First, they say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, and the other one, they said he has been terrorizing the nation through social media insights and the rest of them, causing the nation to go into chaos and fighting. But according to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyer, they have said that that is not what they have been doing, that what Kanu and his group has been doing is a protest in order to be able to achieve their own nation and to secede from a nation called Nigeria to have a nation called their own. Of course, you know, say my own and another person own no be the same thing. To say that this thing na my own and this thing na my brother own, somehow the thing look alike, but they are not the same. They are not even similar, because you get this song where they sing, say my own na my own, oh, I go whole and well. So when you hold your own, na your own, and when you hold another person own, na your person own. Imagine when you wear person clothes go party and you see the person will be say get the clothes for that party and you dey dance. You get one kind eye where the person go look you. You go know say the clothes will be say you wear the dance, so the man done the verse. And as you see as the man they look you go kukuma slow down the way you take the dance, because that man no one make you sweat or even tear in clothes self. So now waiting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his people they fight for, because they want a different nation, a nation where him and his people will be on their own. Of course, from Kanu's complaint, he said that his people has been over marginalized and they have not been given their right and what is due to them, and because of that, that calls for the need for them to secede from the nation called Nigeria in order to have a nation of their own with the name Biafra nation. Of course, you know that it has been over decades after the Biafra Nigerian war took place, and after that, the president of then Nigeria, who was in the military regime, Gowon, declared no victor, no vanquish, and so it's still there as now. But as it's there now, the people want to go for their home, and the Biafrans want to leave. The question I want to ask is it a bad thing for somebody that has been staying in somebody's house to decide one day and say, today, I have stayed, long enough in your house, and it is time for me to go to my own house in order to have that respect. But as the case calls in Nigeria, it looks as if the Nigerian government don't want to hear anything like that. Say the Igbos has been in their house, and now they want to go home. And looking at the just concluded 2023 general presidential election, you will find out that an Igbo man was a leading flag bearer in the Labour Party. But as the matter can be, as the case can summarize, now the man win, but it be like say they collect the man mandate. Maybe we talk about now the thing where we say they go for social media, and you self they carry your eyes, they see them. Because I know say they look at my mouth to see waiting talkative wey be say dey for taxi news go tell you today. But that thing wey they find from my mouth, you no go hear am. Make you use your tongue. Use that your tongue count your. Remember that you are still on Emizari News. Now we be the Ndioma where they bring you the story where we say they happen for all over the world. In case of any advertisement, don't forget to chat us on our link so that we'll be able to carry on your advertisement. Feel free to chat us because we are here to serve you, as our service is to God and humanity.